Hello, friends. Welcome to my intuitively channeled message for the new moon in Virgo, September 2020. I haven't looked up exactly what date it is, but it's the end of this week. I want to say the 17th or 18th. Let's all take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and bring yourself to a place of openness and acceptance in whatever comes through. What I do, and when I share messages like this, what I'm saying is I'm calling it spiritual healing, spiritual medicine. But I don't want you to think of it as the same thing as healing and medicine in the Western sense. Western medicine could not be further from spiritual, as good as its intentions are. They're just very different things. So I'm not here to offer you band-aid solutions or quick fixes. I'm here to share exactly what I said I would, which is my intuitively channeled message when I meditated on what our energetic themes are for this new moon. I hope you enjoy it. So, I'm Jewish, and this new moon coincides with the holiday of Rosh Hashanah. Now, at the holiday of Rosh Hashanah, we eat apples, and the theme of the holiday is one of atonement, prior to Yom Kippur, which is more of a theme of judgment. So, I started by asking myself, first of all, there's symbolism in everything. I believe that, and I really enjoy it. And I sort of started thinking to myself how, why do we eat apples at Rosh Hashanah? We say that it's just any old fruit symbolizing a sweet new year. But when you look at it, like, apples really quite have a significant place in our collective history. Like, off the top of my head, I can think of, there's like a Greek myth, a story about how, like, something about Helen of Troy and an apple, and that's how a war started or something. Forgive my ignorance for not knowing more. Please educate me, but I know that there's that. Not my lineage, not my story to tell. But in Judaism, it's like, we don't actually say any old fruit, like it is apples. And maybe you might say, like, oh, that's autumn, like in North America or in Europe, and there are lots of apples around at that time. That's why. But then I also was thinking about atonement, and how atonement and apples relate to each other. And then I remembered about like the story of original sin in the Bible, and the apple from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So again, that's what I like to do. I sort of like to pick a couple of different things and ask myself and ask Spirit to explain to me how these things fit together. So I went into meditation with the intention, asking to be shown more clearly how apples and atonement relate to each other. And I learned something really interesting. And what that was, so I was shown, I'm a very visual meditator. So I was shown Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and Eve was holding the apple from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And God brought her up to heaven, and he said to her, you're not honoring yourself. You're not honoring your body. And this is the problem. It's not about God saying, don't eat the apple, it's bad, and the snake saying, eat the apple, it's good, do this, do that, go left, go right. It's not about that. It's about the intention and the conditions that you create when you plant seeds. The outcomes that you invite when you plant seeds, are attracted to the intentions that you put into that loving, nurturing act of planting the seed. That's what I was shown. So think about it. I was also shown like that the theme, obviously we're talking about femininity, the apples, women's place in society in a way, sort of like that historical, that long-standing theme of, like that a woman's body and that fruit represents temptation and evil and sin. And I was kind of like, really? But are we sort of over that? We've really worked through a lot. But the message was like, no, this is the intention for right now. And this is what we'd like you to share. So that's what I'm sharing. So the intention. I want to touch on the feminine and masculine aspects of setting intention, because when God was speaking to Eve about intention, after he was finished saying, in my meditation, after he was finished saying, like this is bigger than you, and you need to heal, and you need to honor your body more. What I was shown was that how divine feminine and divine masculine work together in harmony to bring about ideal outcomes, best possible outcomes. And it's like, it's not ideal outcomes in a tunnel vision sense that it's like, I want that piece of furniture, I'm going to go out and get it, I'm going to bring it home, and I'm going to be happy. It's taking a step back, and it's saying like, okay, I need something to sit on, and I would like it to be comfortable and in decent condition, and I would like it to be an energetic fit for me. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? It's like leaving it a little bit more open-ended. But again, not just that, not just putting in sort of like that aspect of being open-minded about it. The reason why I wanted to mention that is, like I was saying, like what I was shown is that you have to take a step back, because it's not, we have to stop. We have to get better at our decision making, our critical thinking. It's not that eating fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil was inherently a bad thing to do. I was shown that it's like God, it represents sort of like a test for humanity. Am I going to listen to this teacher because he says that's good? Or am I going to listen to that teacher because he said that's bad? It's not about either of those things. And when I was meditating at the end of it as well, I sort of came out of it by asking myself, I wonder how the story might end if Adam and Eve, instead of like staying away from the tree until the last possible moment because they were trying to be good little humans, what if they just kind of like hung out around the tree and looked at it, observed it, what kinds of plants grow around it, what kinds of animals are attracted to it, what does the air feel like in the space around that tree, what did they feel in their hearts when they're close to that tree? Is it resonance or is it dissonance? I hope this is making sense. Again, I put myself into meditation and channeling mode before I start these recordings, so we do jump around a little bit, but I want it to be as authentic as possible. So the feminine and the masculine, and the intentions and the conditions that you put into your outcomes. It's not about choosing A, B, or C. Any of them has any infinite number of endings and possibilities. What determines the outcome is what you put into it. So just to touch on it briefly, like the feminine aspects that go into intention are the nurturing ones, the earthy things, the Virgo things, like, let's use the analogy of planting a seed. Where's the soil coming from? What kind of nutrients are in it? What emotions are you holding in your heart when you plant that seed? What's your relationship like with that seed? Are you honoring it? The divine masculine aspects of growth in this example are, what's the container made out of? What are your more actionable things around it? What are your words? I know I said what emotions and what relationship do you have with it. When I was describing the feminine, the masculine is more like, what are you actually saying to it? Are you saying like, I love you, grow? Or are you saying like, I love you, have a wonderful day, grow? Same words, different paths, different intent, different outcome. And what we need is the best of both. Those words, which represent the divine masculine, are not going to benefit anything if they're not done from a place of healed feminine with love. That's the moral of the story. I think that's a good place to end. If you have questions, you can always reach out to me. I wanted to try and keep this relatively brief and not get too detailed. If you are looking for a little bit more, I've created a guided meditation and some personal reflection questions, a worksheet that's available for purchase for $8. If this is really resonating with you and you would like to get a reading on it for $28, I can do a tarot reading. And of course include the guided meditation and worksheet, and we get to have a little conversation together. The reading isn't one way, it's two-way. It's like a mini counseling session. What else did I want to tell you? The link is in the details of the video. And that's it. I hope that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful new moon. I wish you all the best with love and light.